sun is shining in my backyard. I'll work all morning, but I won't work too hard. The lake is calling and the birds fly by. The sun is shining on me. The cat in the window watches life flow by. Birds on the feeder don't even bother to fly. I take another sip of my lemonade. Think I'll move to the shade. My time means more than just getting old. My treasure's more than diamonds and gold. Kid, he stretches and he bumps into me. I guess it's time for tea. The day is over and the night's coming on. I never got to cutting the lawn, but I saw a hawk and an osprey. Had a real good day. Had a real good day. I'm John Ferullo. We're going to bring up John MacLean next. Here's John. Take it away, man.
Thank you, John. That was a great way to start this on a beautiful sunny summer day. My first song is probably not as appropriate for a beautiful summer sunny day, but it's called American Tune. Actually, it's called American Beauty. Bruised all over, not on her skin, so I didn't see it when she walked in. American Beauty in that smoky old bar. Dressed in black silk, head held high. She took the stool right beside me, wiped a tear from her eye. I came to drink, so just stay where you are. Cut a rose, kill a dream, something fine dies, no blade sharper than your lover's lies, and no way to hide your innocent eyes. She stared straight ahead, nursed ginger and rye, touched the rose in her hair, said with a sigh, cruelest pleasures cut straight through your heart. She glanced at the clock, whispered low, God bless the man who understands. No, she said thanks, and then she made to depart. Cut a rose, kill a dream, something fine dies, no blade sharper than your lover's lies, and no way to hide your innocent eyes. She walked off, out to the night. A dark limousine quickly took flight. But there on the bar, just to my right, rose from her hair, scarlet and bright, American beauty in that smoky old bar. American beauty in that smoky old bar. Thank you.
That's a great song, man.
Why, thank you, John. What do you got for us now?
Well, you know, I figured it out a couple of weeks ago. I've probably run 300 open mics in the last 18, 19 years.
And he runs a good open mic.
And in 300 open mics, so I've probably met 300 people that I didn't know before.
Yeah.
I met like 2 difficult people in the whole time.
I know.
Yeah.
Something about the music community.
Yeah, a lot of good people.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, when you meet a lot of good people, you end up losing some once in a while. So this song is for those guys. Not to be depressing, but especially Rob at this point. The player stands upon the stage, plays his tune, turns the page. Every night's a golden age to sit and listen or to play. He takes his time to tune it up, puts his paper on the stand, sets the capo on the fret, and one guitar is the whole band. There's a singer in the wind that you'll never hear again. When the last clean notes fade, all that's left's an empty stage. An empty sidewalk, an empty door, where someone once played tunes before, for nickels, dimes, and nothing more, that goes to someone by the store. His guitar case was open wide to show the emptiness inside. A heart with no place it could hide was on display for passers-by. You never know when the last song comes. Is there an encore when the chorus fades? Player stood upon the stage, played his tune, turned the page. Every night was a golden age to sit and listen or to play. There's a singer in the wind that you'll never hear again. When the last clean notes fade, all that's left's an empty stage.
That is a beautiful song of remembrance, John.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. Very evocative and poignant.
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 Use
This
those
one of
$10
mine-
words with me, MacLean.
This one of mine, called Liar's War, is also actually a song of remembrance. I wrote it right after we started bombing Baghdad in the first Iraq War. But it brought me back to the Vietnam War, and I felt very strongly that there's a connection between those two, which I will illustrate in the song. But, so here it is. Dear Sally, I just came in from patrol. At home, it's 4:15. I hope you're sleeping safely tonight. I don't sleep much anymore. If I could, I would reach out and hold you and whisper what's inside my head. I'm sending good soldiers to their desert death, and I'm wishing it were me instead. Three boys gave up their lives tonight. Brave young girl makes four. We're right back where we started a lifetime ago in another liar's war. I'm thinking of my brother William. He died leading his men tough and true. While it's now been more than 35 years, his passing tonight feels brand new. He died in that long ago Asian war. Now more have died on the way, down a long bloody road that ends right here, but began back in Cameron Bay. Three boys gave up their lives tonight. A brave young girl makes four. We're right back where we started a lifetime ago in another liar's war. You know best how proud I have been to serve 30 years in a tangible way, and to honor my brother's sacrifice in that rice field an ocean away. But my proud serving days are over. There's no honor in burying men for those who chose to start this war, but chose not to fight back then. Three boys gave up their lives tonight. Brave young girl makes four. We're right back where we started a lifetime ago in another liar's war. Yes, three boys lost their lives tonight. That young girl, she died too. And I miss you, Sally, so much tonight. And I wish I were there with you.
Oof. That's a powerful song, John.
Well, a lot of powerful feelings behind it. Thank you, John. So,
I like when you perform that song back to back with that Joel Mabus song about the wall.
Yeah, Touching Up Name on the Wall. Those two
Yeah.
belong together.
You all should go out and look for Joel Mabus' song called Touch a Name on the Wall. It goes with that song John just played. Play a song I wrote about my dad. My dad was a World War II vet, and he never talked much about his time over there. He spent it all in northern England. He did talk about it when in 1998 when we took him back there, and we got to see some of the things still existed that were at the base when he worked there. So we got to see some of those things. We got to see the hangar he worked in and his office that was there. We get to see the pub he got thrown out of. In the house where my mom was living when he met her. All told, it was a good trip. His only vice, and it was probably from being in the service, was he liked to have a nice watch. So when he was, probably 87 or 88, we bought him an expensive self-winding watch. And he found it wasn't staying wound, which disturbed him, because he didn't like what it indicated. So I bought him a little box that had a battery in it, and you put the watch in it at night, and it went like this, and it kept the watch wound. He was much happier. Now I have that watch in my drawer at home, and I take it out on Christmas. I wear it on Christmas. My father's watch that he wore for many years. I wear it on my wrist through loneliness and fear. Wore this watch to work, and he wore it out to play. My father's watch I wear today. My father's shoes that he walked in many miles, I wear them on my feet through happiness and smiles, and they get covered up with colors bright and dull. My father's shoes I hope to wear well. My father's coat is worn at the sleeves, the pocket bulges out, it's full of his beliefs. He wore this coat to church, he wore it to the track. This is my father's coat and I cannot give it back. My father's eyes stare back at me today. I see him in the mirror, I passed him on my way. And they saw many things in the younger days. My father's eyes stare back at me today. Thank you. Thank you, John.
John, it's a beautiful song.
Thanks, man.
It's got there's several. It's full of moments as far as I'm concerned, but one of them is his pocket full of his beliefs.
Yeah.
And the other, he wore this jacket to church and to the track.
Yeah.
It's great. It's great.
Which is both true.
Yeah. John, I've thought of you many things about you, but I never thought you were a liar. This next one is called This Bridge. And bridges have many uses.
Is this a dental thing?
No, in this case, we're not talking about that kind of bridge.
Oh, okay.
We're talking about a bridge with a road on it. And it's curious as to what those roads that bridges are on are supposed to do. And this song is about that in one instance. This bridge passes over what once was my hometown. Homes full of hope and laughter, no longer to be found, no longer to be found. This bridge built by others, highway to the rich, grand homes one to another, over us, beneath their bridge, over us, beneath their bridge. Long ago, from these bottoms, strong men of amber hue marched up to work the factories for men in polished shoes, for men in polished shoes. This gray granite headstone, my pa lies here, warm boots right there with him, my ma put them there, my ma put them there. This bridge passes over what once was my hometown. Homes full of hope and laughter, no longer to be found. Farewell, my hometown.
That's a good one.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. It's one of my latest songs.
That's new, huh?
Yeah, new one, brand new.
So I'm gonna be a little bit silly. You said I don't lie, but I lie all the time.
Yeah, but you lie for a good reason, John.
This whole song's a lie.
Oh, is it about you and Mr. being Mr. Universe?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
There used to be a restaurant up near where I live called the Skip's Restaurant. It was built probably in the late 40s, early 50s. Family restaurant. It was really cool. And it had, on one end of it, it had a cocktail lounge called The Embers. And it intrigued me, the name of it, because it's just a vision of, and when something's at the embers, it means it's just kind of burnt out. So I envisioned this guy that I made up that would be a denizen of the cocktail lounge, and he'd be there every night. He'd be sitting at the end of the bar, and he'd be like my age, and he'd have, do you guys remember, you can't answer because you're online, but you can remember Grecian formula? And you put it in your hair and it would turn it dark. And that's what he had. He had like shoe polish black hair, and he had a disco shirt on, and the buttons were kind of fighting to hold the belly into the shirt, it's like that situation. And he'd be there every night, and I thought about him. And actually, I thought about him so much that I wrote his whole backstory to go with the song. That's what this book is, and it's if I want to be a little bit self-promoting, it's on Amazon. It's called The Embers. You can find it. And I did that as a songwriting exercise. A lot of times when I write a song, I'll write a character study or a backstory that goes along with the song that I never use, and this one just kind of exploded on me. So all that to say, that's 60,000 words, but the song's way less than that. So this is called The Embers, and the guy's name is Tony. So you got to picture him sitting at the end of the bar. It was a clicky chord. Neon is purple and pink. I stepped in for a drink. The glasses are clouded and this bar's never crowded. I'm in the embers again. The paneling seen better days. Old and always this way. The parcels are plastic and the TV's erratic. I'm in the embers again. The pool table has a few tears, like most of the chairs. The dartboard's hung too low, and most folks are solo. I'm in the embers again. But it's not too late, and I can't wait. I'll be here for the rest of the night. And if I go home, would I be home? Would I find that home is alright? Once I was a big wheel. I made some big deals. But that was back when I was hot then. It's just the embers again. So you have to picture our hero. He's sitting at the end of the bar, eating his dinner, which consists of a little wooden bowl of pretzels and peanuts, and nursing a Bud Light. And next to him, around the corner of the bar, is a bleach blonde woman with tight red jeans. And she's just kind of staring in the mirror behind the bar. She's been staring so long, she's not really sure she knows left from right at this point. And Tony's chatting her up, and he's telling her how he used to be a 007 double knot, licensed to kill European suave tuxedo wearing spy. And she doesn't believe him. And he says, oh yeah, I had an Aston Martin, a DB7, and the little button on the back with the oil came out when you pressed the button, and smoke came out in the back, and I had a Chevelle that did that, but without the button. And he's telling her, I've been all over Europe, man. I've been to Belgium and France and Liechtenstein and all these places. And she's kind of half listening to him, half checking her teeth for spinach in the mirror. And he says, you know, I'd love to take you to Europe someday. And she looks at him, she says, I don't really know you. And reality is I've never been really east of Lynn, which my friend Donnie reminds me is the ocean. He says, yeah, I'll tell you what. He says, if you're interested, I can take you to the Riviera tonight. She says, well, I'd go there. And he says, that's awesome. He goes, I'll take you to the Riviera. He says, it's parked right out back. Now, that joke only works at a certain age level. hopefully you people out in the internet world are that old. Thanks.
That's a brilliant song, John. But I would just like to set the record straight. Embers is an autobiography, and this is just one of the chapters from John's life. And if you believe that, I have a bridge that
You just had the bridge.
I could sell you. Okay. I just want to say how much fun it is playing with this guy. And
we do have fun together.
yeah, we do.
Yeah.
We do. And he did a little self-promotion. We both I'm not going to bother you with this aside from the fact that we both have CDs available. You can go. Our names are on this video that you're watching, and so you can look at our names and put music after mine and .com after John's or something, and you'll find more stuff than you ever wanted to find. So here's a song about a city that's been in the news lately, which is my hometown, called Baltimore, and I wrote a song a long time ago about Baltimore. And I like Baltimore a lot more than the president does. Although this isn't the happiest song in the world. She rode in from Lawyer's Hill. He sailed from Halifax, both searching their future. For both no turning back. Two roads boldly taken, crossed near the waterside. His glance, her smile, forever changed two lives. He dreamed of fame and fortune, she of Paris and of Rome. Dreams detoured to Baltimore. There they made their home. They filled that home with children. Laughter rang out there. He truly adored her. They were the perfect pair. She loved him with all her heart. Also she loved gin. That turned his love to anger and slowly did her in. Their children stood witness as she slowly drowned. Each tried and failed to save her. Then one by one left town. So every now and then you can flee across the country, never to return. But a mother's touch still lingers, is what I have learned. So every now and then southward I head down, tend to graves in Baltimore, forever their hometown. Two roads boldly taken, cross near the harbor shore. That moment set their future in the town of Baltimore.
Oh, nice.
Thanks. Thanks.
Is that a true story?
Well, you know,
Quasi-true?
some of us
Folk song true?
write some fiction to tell the truth if you want.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed, but in the middle of that song there was a bug that started to cross across my forehead. I got a little bit rattled there, but I think I held it down. So
At least it wasn't a black widow spider.
yes, it wasn't, or a brown recluse either. So
I flew to Baltimore last fall for work, and I had to go somewhere in Pennsylvania that was 4 dead deer away from Baltimore.
Baltimore is pretty close to the Mason-Dixon line, which is the dividing line between Pennsylvania and Maryland.
Yep. You measure distances in Pennsylvania by dead deer, I found.
And that's not deer that you shoot. That's deer that you hit as they try to run across the road, and you're going
right.
65 miles an hour.
I was listening to Car Talk one time, and a lady called in, and I don't know if she was putting them on and was serious, but she was saying, why do they put the deer crossings at the busy part of the highway? Why don't they move those signs so the deer cross somewhere else? It's not wrong.
No comment.
So I have to preface this song by saying I know nothing about taxes. And I know barely more about songwriting, but I have some advice on both those things before I tell you this song. When we go out in public, my wife and I like to write things down that I overhear from other tables and things, like in a restaurant. And she's learned to put up with that over the years, which I'm ever grateful for. But we were in a restaurant one time, and some guy behind us was telling his wife about how bad some certain group of people were, and his wife says, you can't paint them all with the same brush. I says, that sounds good. So I wrote that down. And then when I got the bill, this is the tax part. I got the bill. I paid the bill for the meal. I stapled it to the little piece of paper I wrote that note down on. Then I wrote the song, and I put the paper and the bill and all that stuff in a folder. And so I'm figuring that someday Bruce Springsteen will record this song, and I'll make, maybe it'll get played on Spotify 7 million times, and I'll make $40.
Yeah.
And when I make that $40, I'm going to take that bill from the restaurant. I'm going to go to the IRS guy and say, look, $40 from them. I paid $50 to get the idea, so you owe me $10. I'll let you know if it works.
Yeah, I won't hold my breath.
It's also the only rock and roll song in my set. It's got for all you theory people, it's got a 1-6-4-5 kind of progression, like an old rock and roll song. And let's see how it goes. Ready? Paint me with the same brush, 'cause you don't know what I'm like. Don't paint me with the same brush. Yeah, I haven't got it right. You think I know the answers, and the next word I might say. You think you know the answers. Yeah, I haven't got a clue. Don't paint me with the same brush. Don't tell me you know better, and yours is the only right. Don't tell me you know better. Don't drag me to your night. You think you know the answers from what you've read in books. You think you know the answers. That isn't how it looks. Don't paint me with the same brush. Tell me I'm a mean one when you don't know what I'm like. Don't tell me I'm a mean one. You haven't got it right. Might not have all the answers or even all the clues, but I am still searching, 'cause that is what I do. Don't paint me with the same brush. 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 That same bug was crawling on my nose the whole time.
I know. It's a test of our professionalism, John.
That's right.
So, John Ferullo, rock and roll star.
There we go.
So I guess we each have a song or two left.
Yeah.
And so this one, interestingly enough, has uses in part of it that same image of the painting with a brush.
Excellent.
It's a very different song. I've got a couple of nieces who are very smart, and they're like both about 15 years younger than I am. And so when I was a young adult, and they were very intelligent teenagers or young 20s, and we get into these discussions about important things like God, or is there a God, or whatever. And one of them is very strong and very religious, and yes, there's a God, and another didn't particularly believe in God, but believed in ghosts. And I was never able to counter their arguments with my own, but it eventually got into entered into this song, because I do believe that we live beyond our time, even if I'm not a believer. So anyhow, this is called Beyond Our Time. And I don't believe in God. I don't believe in ghosts. I do believe we live beyond our time. You won't find me in heaven. Hope I'm not in hell. Might be in our daughters' hearts and minds. And what will they remember? What tales will they tell? Will they recall sudden words of anger, or draw softer tears from memory's well? By the end of every day, I try to find a way to give those girls reason to sleep well. Sometimes hard work praised, sometimes voices raised, sometimes we need a final bell. And what will they remember? What tales will they tell? Will they recall sudden words of anger, or draw softer tears from memory's well? Don't you hope that while they sleep, those dreamers only keep visions of happiness and light? Alas, it's surely true, the brush at times holds blue as those dreamers paint their memories each night. And what will they remember? What tales will they tell? Will they recall sudden words of anger, or draw softer tears from memory's well? I don't believe in God. I don't believe in ghosts. I do believe we live beyond our time. Thank you.
That's a great song.
Thank you, John. I think we're trading great songs.
So, you know John Swenson, right?
Yeah.
So John's mom was in her 90s, and she used to come every time we played somewhere.
Absolutely.
And you could tell how well the night was going by how vertical Nana was. So this is from Marjorie. Marjorie was her name. Well, the daffodils are yellow and all turning toward the sun. The phlox is purple, bright and green. Tulips have just started and the crocuses are done. This garden is a sight to be seen. Well, the bees all buzz around and they do a honey dance. Little crawly bugs scoot by. Frogs and toads are looking for springtime romance. Birds take up the big blue sky. It's a lovely spring day, so tears beg your pardon. There's a colorful new butterfly in Marjorie's garden. There's more flowers come in May. The garden's muddy, the trees sprout leaves. She loves her little garden, even on a rainy day. It's not what you see, it's what you believe. It's a lovely spring day, so tears beg your pardon. There's a colorful new butterfly in Marjorie's garden. That's for Nana.
Bravo. She was a lovely, lovely woman.
Yeah, she was cool.
Yeah.
She broke her arm once, and she had a broken arm. So what happened, Nana? She said, I broke my arm. It'll get better.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
She was tougher than all of us.
I know.
Yeah. Okay, well, I think this is my last song, so before I begin, I'd like to thank Bob Crownfield for producing this, and his friend Andy for helping out on all the technical aspects, and of course John Svensson for just being
him.
Being John. Did I say John Svensson? John Ferullo for being John Ferullo.
You can thank John Swenson, who he might even be listening.
Yeah, I know. He called and I said, you can stream it, John. He says, I'm going to do that. So he may be listening. So chuckle away as I get my names confused. John Ferullo, it's been an honor and a pleasure and a ball of fun.
John's John's computer runs on Steam though, so he might not.
All right, as my wife Chris says, I've never met a sad song I didn't like, and I've hardly ever written anything but sad songs. But this one is a happy song, and it's entitled For Grace, and it's also, along with This Bridge, they're my two most recent songs. So. For Grace. If you were to ask me, dear, to sum up our time, I would say all these years have been a journey fine. Fine like your wedding lace, like our newborn in your arms, like the smile that lights your face. That's what I mean by fine. Girls grown and gone now, strong from your care, this home their favorite memory place. We all find strength here. Long walks in spring sunlight, how I'm full at Christmas time. One last kiss every night, your body next to mine. Moments pure and simple are what I hear most clear. Your eyes when they twinkle or shed a gentle tear. Who knows how many days we have to walk this path? I would not hold one regret if this day were our last. Let's join our hands as one now, gently full entwined. Bless the day I met you, dear. The journey has been fine. The journey has been fine. For Grace. Thank you very much, all of you, for listening. And now I turn it back to John. One last song for us?
Okay, we have time, I guess. I need something not so sad.
Yeah, put us out on a happy note.
I don't have any happy songs.
Don't look at me. You just heard my only happy song.
I'll play one of the first songs I ever played for Ellen. fills the stove with oil, blushes all the while. He can't remember when he's seen a lovely woman smile. He sits and tries to think, how'd life get this way? It didn't start for here on a cold December day. Twists and turns and forks in the road. You never know what might shift your life slow. Twists and turns and detour signs. When you turned, what did you leave behind? He wanted to play ball, but he never made the show. Then with mouths to feed, it was time for him to go. Now he plays softball in the company league. They let him play first base if he promises not to drink. Twists and turns, forks in the road. You never know what might shift your life slow. Twists and turns and detour signs. When you turned, what did you leave behind? Pours himself a beer, then sits down by the stove and asks himself, well, how'd I earn this woman's love? She sits across the room and their eyes collide. Right then he knew no secret from her he could ever hide. Twists and turns, forks in the road. You never know what might shift your life slow. Twists and turns, detour signs. When you turned, what did you leave behind? Well, thanks everybody. Thanks for listening and tuning in. Whoever's out there in the internet world.
Yeah.
NSA maybe, I don't know.
We just thanks to y'all. Thanks to John and Bob and Andy. Take care.